Alright, so Anthony Joshua put this on the story a couple of days ago, saying shout out to Matchroom for all you've done for me and continue to do for me. Long may you regain supreme and keep giving fighters opportunities to become champions and make boxing great. 12 years ago, I signed with you, and 12 years later, I'll throw my last punch with you. Royalty and loyalty is the perfect match for the great good. A toast to another 100 years of Matchroom boxing, and the finish on this. If I could start from scratch, I wouldn't change it. So, this is hinting that Joshua is close to retiring. It's hinting that it's got to be so. He probably only has 2 or 3 fights left, literally. And I'm quite sad about this, because look, Anthony Joshua, look, say whatever you want about him. See he's overrated, etc. See he hasn't performed well against the top fighters, but man, he he made like he was the face of British boxing at one point, literally like in our generation. When Tyson Fury was retiring like 5, 6 times, he was the face of British boxing at one point. Because think about it, you didn't have Dubois then. Tyson Fury, like I said, he was retiring. Chisora and that, he was in the Bellew. Now he retired. So yeah, he was at one point the face of British boxing. I remember that knockout he did on Klitschko as well back in 2017. Man, what a knockout that was. And knocked out Dylan White as well. He beat Andy Ruiz in the rematch. Yeah, it's just I don't know what to say about this. I mean, like I want him. I still feel like AJ. He has still at least 3 years left in boxing. In my opinion, I still feel like he has 3 or more years in boxing. Like I think it's too soon for him to retire now. But look, I think he's made the money. He's done what he's done. He's done it all. He's made the money, and now he can set off to the sun and retire with millions in the bank, literally. But yeah, I would have I would have liked to see him, stay a bit longer in the business and fight a bit more, because his last fight was against Dubois, that knockout, you know. So yeah, I would have liked for him to stay a bit longer in the game, but like I said, it's his decision. I mean, he's made millions, so he can do whatever he wants now. But yeah, let's talk about who his potential two fights could be against. I mean, Jake Paul, he wants AJ. Look, this can't honestly. Hope AJ sparks him out, because to humble Jake Paul, honestly, like Jake Paul is not even a boxer. Like the only pro boxer he fought who was within his age was Tommy Fury, and he lost. Alright, because I think right now Jake Paul beats Tommy Fury. If he gets that rematch on with Tommy Fury, and if he beats him, then fair enough. I'll consider him as a boxer then. But to be honest, I don't really think Tommy would want that, because Tommy is probably. I think Tommy's actually scared of Jake Paul. I think Tommy is scared of having a L on his record by former YouTuber Jake Paul. But yeah, so Anthony Joshua could potentially fight Jake Paul. If that happens, Anthony Joshua knocks him spark out round one. Or Tyson Fury, the fight we've all been waiting for, the biggest fight in British boxing history, literally in British boxing history. That's the biggest fight. This fight should have happened like 2018, 2019, like 6, 7 years ago. You know, that's when that fight should have happened. But it's just you. There was talks about it happening, but then I remember Tyson Fury was giving him deadlines and all that, all that crap, and then he fought Dylan White, and then he retired. Then he came back, fought Usyk twice, lost fair and square, retired, and now he wants a trilogy of Usyk. Like Tyson Fury, man, I don't know. I feel like Tyson Fury is ducking the AJ. Like I'm not even lying. I mean, you could see the same thing for AJ as well, because he has been inactive, and his last fight was against Dubois, and he got knocked out a year ago. But yeah, what do you think is next for Anthony Joshua? Who would you like? Who would you like for him to fight next? I mean, me personally, I really want him to fight Tyson Fury. That is still the biggest British boxing fight in history, literally. And we want to see how they do against each other. We want to see who wins, who comes out on top. That'll be absolute sellout. 90K at Wembley Stadium. That is definitely the biggest fight in British boxing history, man. But yeah, what do you think is next for AJ? Let me know down in the comments below. What do you think about him retiring? I mean, because like I said, at one point he was the face of British boxing. At one point, might have been only for like a year, but still, he was the face at one point. for British boxing, and he was my favorite boxer at one point. I mean, I still like him, but he's not my favorite. But of course, I still like him and respect everything what AJ does. But yeah, what do you think is next for AJ? Comment down below.